reasons for denial of visa, does the academic record of a student play any role?
Yes, I think so. I mean, let's not forget the fact that primarily the student is going there to study. So the visa officer would be looking at the past track record of academics as well. So if somebody is a really pathetic student, he's got only 50%, and that too he passed with 10 or 12 attempts of passing different papers, it's never a good indication. It's like, this boy never did well here in India, how is he going to study well when he go abroad? So academics are looked at quite seriously actually. But by and large, when a university or an institution grants an offer, the visa officer also says, all right, they have also looked at his record and they've given an admission. So that's kind of taken into consideration. The other times when academics play a role is, let's say, giving an example, let's say somebody has done BCA, a Bachelor of Computer Applications, and now suddenly is switching into a course in chefing. Okay, that's when the antennae of the visa officer go up, because chefing and BCA have absolutely no connection. Or let's say somebody with a BCom background has suddenly decided to go into 3D animation. There's absolutely no relation between the chosen course and what you have done before. We've had instances like that, and when we have examined and seen that person actually has a genuine interest in what he is choosing now, we have no problem, and we explain that to the visa officer. In fact, there was a case where a student opted to go for a course in 3D animation and he did not even pass his 10th. Okay, so that was a huge challenge for us. But I personally looked into that particular file, and I looked at that person's portfolio, and I realized he's an extremely brilliant animator. So we put up a fight on behalf of that student, and we told the visa officer saying, hey, look at this guy's work. I mean, he's a fantastic animator. Why are you looking at the fact he doesn't have his education in place? He now wants to, upgrade at the international level. So I think he needs to be given an opportunity. And he got his visa. So he went, he studied, and he even got a job offer immediately after he completed his course. And then he outsourced from New Zealand animation work to India. He's doing extremely well. So it's important that you choose the right course. And if you're choosing something which looks unrelated to what you've done before, you need to support it strongly. You need to support it strongly with documentary proof or some other kind of proof. And then the visa officer will not have a problem.
In case parents of the students have any criminal records, does it affect the student?
That's an interesting question, but the government of New Zealand treats every individual in their individuality and not in terms of what your parents or grandparents have done. So every applicant needs to get something called a police clearance certificate, which they can get by applying at the regional passport office. And the police department, the local police department, will check into their antecedents and ensure that there is no prior criminal record. So really we are only interested in the criminal track record or lack of it of the student and not the parent. So it's not an issue for us.
Okay. Nowadays, students having many options to study, like places in Australia, UK, or anywhere else. Why do you think they should choose New Zealand?
That's a good question. I mean, as you can see, we are very passionate and proud about promoting New Zealand, and it's always an interesting question to answer. A lot of our interest for New Zealand stems from my own experiences. Before I started the company, I traveled to US, I traveled to UK, I worked in both these places, and then I went to New Zealand. I also did some brief stints in Singapore, and then I went to New Zealand. When I landed in New Zealand, it just felt very, very welcoming. It was an amazingly comfortable, nice feeling when I went to that country. I honestly found it better in that comfortable sense than US or UK, and that's when I realized that it's a great destination to be promoted. Today, if I were to give a sales spiel about why New Zealand, I would say that it is as developed as the US is, it is as traditional as the UK is, it's as beautiful as Switzerland is, it's as laid back as Ireland is, it's as cosmopolitan as Singapore is, okay, and it is as peaceful and risk-free as Canada is. So why do you want to go anywhere else? You have everything rolled into one. So I think those are the reasons why I would opt to encourage people to go to New Zealand. Let's not forget the safety aspect, which is becoming such a huge factor anywhere across the world. You've heard of a lot of recent incidents where students have been killed or abused, or various other incidents. You will not hear anything like that in New Zealand. They're very friendly people, very welcoming, very warm. The student policies are amazingly good to help them to study and settle down. You don't have to prove that you'll come back to India. So you can invest into your education, good quality education, go to that country, study, pick up your 1-year work permit, get a job, and apply for a permanent residency and settle down. So no, it's a no-nonsense country. That's what I call it.